Hello guys, good morning. Today I want to talk about how to audit a church account. To audit a church account is not difficult. It's just for you to follow some set guide, some set principles. There's some documents you need to collect. There's some things you need to ask for. There's some things you need to expect. Now I will start with an engagement letter. Before you commence a church account, there are some things you need to find in an engagement letter an auditor has rights to the church, which is his client. In his engagement letter, he will have to state what are his responsibility as the auditor. And one of his responsibility is to assess information, is to verify information that will be made available by the client. And one of the responsibility of the client was to make these informations available, make this data, these financial statements, these documents, these books available. That is basically what will be the auditor's responsibility and the responsibility of the client. There are other responsibilities though. Now, other things you will find in an engagement letter for a church account are things like um, the fees. Fees is usually a very normal thing. You should know the fee. You should know other services you can provide because of or even after the audit engagement. And so that's basically what an engagement letter which the auditor writes to his clients would look like. The next thing, yeah, after the engagement letter has been given to the client is that a date will be fixed. That okay, in two weeks later I'm coming myself, the auditor, and two of my staffs to come and commence the audit job. So after that, the next is when I've gotten to the client's office. Now normally you don't you the auditor must not go to the client's office. The auditor might go to the client office, or he might stay in his office and the books and documents and everything he needs for the audit is brought to his office. But I think it's more better for the auditor to go to the client office, because you will be able to understand the accounting system, understand the system, understand the business environment, know what's going internal and external regarding that client's business. So it's always appropriate for the auditor to go to the client's office. So myself and my staffs, I now move into my client's office. That's the church. We're given an office to sit down. The next thing we will do is we have to request for some books of documents. Now, even before now, we have in part of the engagement letter, we have also listed out the books and documents we will need. So it's expected that the client would have made these books available. So by the time we get in to the client's office, these books are already there. Like when we go to the client's office, we are expected to be given a management account. A management account is simply the financial statements that have been written by the client, his own account. He has accounted for his business activity for the period we need to audit. For instance, we want to audit 2020. He has to prepare account. When I mean account, he has to prepare a balance sheet, which is statement of financial position. He has to prepare an income statement. He has to prepare schedules to those income statements, schedules to the balance sheet. He has to prepare his notes. He has to get all those information ready in what we call a management account. A management account is a detailed account of transactions that has happened for the period we need to do the audit. So that's the management account. Another thing we will expect to see is church income register. It's just a register of all the income of the church. For instance, the question you should ask yourself is, what is the source of income of the church? We will look at offerings, we look at tithes, we look at donation, and every other source of income, every other activity that the church will do that will bring in income to the church. So we'll be given a register that lists out this income on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and totaled. So that's what you will find in a church income register. And then you will also be given a booklet, an income booklet and files. Those income booklets and files are source documents. Those are the documents that when there is a transaction between the church, maybe an member of the church and outsider, person bringing money, maybe tithe, you now raise that booklet. Now raise you raise a receipt for the money you're receiving into the church. So you will find that in the income booklet. Some of those documents will be filed. So everything goes together. Another thing is payment register. It's the same thing. Just you register all the payments during the period of review. Register it like your electricity and lighting, your generator repairs, your and every other kind of church activity. It's just to look for those transactions, those businesses that go on in the church, and then you expect that they will be registered in a payment register and totaled on a monthly basis. You may also have the cash book. The cash book is actually the movement of inflows of money coming into the church and money going out of the church, so that we can always know that, okay, at the end of the week or the end of the month, this is what we have, this is what the church have. We have collected so and so during the week, we have spent so and so during the week, and this is what is remaining. So I think that is what the cash book will help to do, just to record in money coming in and going out. Another thing we look at is the general ledger. The general ledger is actually summaries, monthly summaries of transaction, monthly summaries of payment, and monthly summaries of income that is taken to the general ledger. And then from the general ledger is now taken to the trial balance. I have not mentioned the trial balance here, but the trial balance has to form part of the management account that will be given to us. The sales vouchers, the salary vouchers will tell us salaries have been paid to the finance officers, the treasurer, the financial secretary, and every other persons that's working in church. You will find the salary voucher. Now, all these documents are necessary to be kept because these are source documents. These are documentations. In accounting, there's what we call documentation. You have to document everything you are doing. Everything has to pass through documentation. And when there are no documentations for transactions, it causes, those are where issues come up. Those are where the auditor will now have to, bring it up for management discussion. Those are the issues that comes up in the management letter, because there are some documentations that needs to be done, and if it's not done, then it will be taken up in our notes. That's why if you notice under my working papers, I've written the notes of matters that will need management attention. That is where you put down issues, put down anomalies, put down errors, put down weaknesses in the accounting system that management needs to address, that needs to be corrected. And that is one of the essence of audit. Audit is to help management to strengthen up their system. They may not be able to see it, but as professionals, you will be able to see those weaknesses and advise on an optimum way of running the accounting system, optimum way of running the business. That is why accountants are seen as business advisors. They can advise you on what to do and what not to do, so that you can save your cost, you can also make profit, and you don't run into problems keeping your books or running your business. So in essence, that's what you find in notes when you're preparing your notes in the course of the audit. Now, when you have collected your books, which I've just showed you, you will now use those books to extract what we call working papers, schedules. You from your income register, you should be able to extract your income schedule. From your payment register, you should be able to extract your payment schedule. Then from your bank statements, I did not mention it, but from your bank statements, you should be able to extract your bank balances, your bank charges. From your asset schedule, you should be able to extract assets that have been purchased and acquired for the year, the depreciation, everything. You find it in your asset schedule. Then your data schedule. The data schedule is more like um, loan. You have given loans to members of the church, or you're giving loans to them as a kind of an advance, and then they are expected to pay on a monthly basis. So the essence of this debt schedule is extracting that information, the payment they have made, money they collected. You extract it under the debtor schedule. Creditor schedule is a major creditor to the church. To me, is audit fees, because the audit fee is paid for. The audit fee is treated as a creditor, in the sense that you are providing a service of an audit in the year that has passed. The year has passed, but you're providing this service the next year. You're providing, for instance, you're providing an accounting service, an audit service in 2019, but you're providing that service in 2020. So that means that's an across. You're providing a service for a year that has passed. That's why audit fee is always treated uh, as an acquired expense. So I put it under creditors schedule. Another thing is photocopy of major findings. You can have major issues, major discrepancies, major issues that you need to point it out to management. So for you to have a stronger evidence, you make photocopies of it so that you can put it in your file. That's the essence of making photocopies of major findings, major issues, major problems. You make photocopies and you keep it in your file, forming part of your working papers. Then you prepare your extended trial balance. Let me go to extended trial balance. The extended trial balance is just a spreadsheet of columns. We have columns for client's trial balance. We have two columns, debit and credit, for adjustments. We have columns for final trial balance, debit and credit. We have um, 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 columns for income and expenditure, debit and credit. And we also have columns for balance sheet or statement of financial position, debit and credit. That is how an extended trial balance looks like. It's just a spreadsheet. If you have seen a spreadsheet before, a spreadsheet with different columns. And so that's the essence of a trial balance, is just to help to put everything down, and it is worked on, so that in case you need to do adjustments, you can easily do adjustments. You can easily debit and credit, because when you talk about adjustment is always debit and credit. Adjustment can never be one leg. It has to be debit and credit. So the essence of a trial balance is to help to make that adjustment clear, to make it clear for everyone to see. Anyone who looks at it who understands accounting very well will look at the extended trial balance and understand why you debited or why you credited. Because if you debit, you have to credit. If you credit, you have to debit. So that's the use of extended trial balance, is to help for proper gathering of the figure. And so if there is any mistake, or if there was any shortfall, or if there was any overstatement or understatement, the extended trial balance will be able to spot it. So that's why in an audit firm, an extended trial balance is used. I use an extended trial balance because it makes my work neater. It makes me to spot my own mistakes, or even spot mistakes that mistakes or error, or if figures were hidden by the client. Extended trial balance will help to bring it out. That's why we use an extended trial balance. So once again, extended trial balance will have a client trial balance. The client trial balance is trial balance from my client, where the adjustment column is if I want to make adjustments, if I want to do a correction, if I want to repost, if I want to transfer, I use an adjustment column, debit and credit. Then that will give me the final trial balance. Final trial balance is after my adjustment. I will now have a final trial balance, debit and credit. And then I'll now extend it to my income and expenditure and balance sheets, and I will now have a balance. It is from there I now use to extract my audited account. It is from there audited account is produced. I'll move to the next one, which is the audit report and the account. It is from the extended trial balance that I now prepare my account, and then from my working papers will now give me the overview of what I have done, and from there I can now express my opinion whether the books and the documents are in agreement with the final account the client gave me when I began the work. That's just the essence of the audit report. It's just to show whether the books are in agreement, what the assertions management gave regarding his account is in agreement with the books he has given me to examine. And then if you look at it very well, you see I've mentioned balance sheet, which is statement of financial position. I mentioned income and expenditure account. I mentioned schedules and notes to the account. These are the pages you will find in an account. These are the pages. Then you also attach your audit report. Audit report is just a page that will express where the opinion of the auditor is expressed. And then the very last thing the auditor will do is a management letter. A management letter, as I've once said, is just a domestic report. It's a letter written to management, showing them their weaknesses, showing them areas they have issues in the account, showing them where they did not do well and they need to improve, showing them where they have not got it right and they need to get it right. So that's why an auditor is hired, so that he can put it to management where they need to correct, where they need to improve, what they are not doing they need to start doing. It's just to make the system correct, make the system run well. Where there are issues, where there are mistakes, where there are problems, the professional, the auditor is able to point it out, express it, bring it out for management to see and to do necessary correction. That's really the essence of a management letter. Thank you very much. I believe you have understood how have an idea on how a church account is being audited. Please, I want you to subscribe to this channel so that you will not miss my next upload. Thank you very much for watching.